Why do we even need to worry all that much about it?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. Firstly, you can get started with anything that's superficial. People get the feeling that they can understand that. It's like, it's only a little crease. If I inject, that'll go away. That's where it all starts. It doesn't feel like you need to know loads of facial anatomy initially. Now, they're wrong, but that's often sometimes how you feel. It feels a little bit doable. As soon as you start to do anything more than little creases, you start to get this nagging sense of you should know. You should have a nagging sense of what's going on underneath there. And that's not to say, obviously, there should be certainly no healthcare professional who's injecting without knowing the basics. But it's a very different thing knowing the basics and having essentially what you're building with your anatomy knowledge is a real sense of where you are, where you're positioned in space relative to all the important structures.
Yeah.
It's really different to, I always say the difference is like the difference between having a map and knowing your way is very different. You love direction. So that sense of knowing exactly where you are in space is very different to knowing that you've got a map with you. It's a different world, in fact. And that's what you're trying to get to with mastering anatomy, because you feel you've got all your key bearings. You can then make decisions and judgments that feel like they're based on reality rather than a stab in the dark, literally. So it's a different world when you develop that confidence in your own anatomical mental model.